there and welcome to the House of Me. I'm Allison. Today I'm broadcasting from the IBC show 2022. It's been a few years since we've all been together and we are so excited to be back. What I wanted to do on today's episode is share with you what are the themes of this year's IBC show? What are customers talking about? So much has happened with AWS, and so I will be bringing you interviews from some of our leaders, some of our customers, and some of our partners so that you can get a sense of what is happening at IBC 2022. If you want to see this content, please stay tuned.
I would say over the last 18 months, we've seen a tremendous spike in interest in the cloud. And I think part of that's because of how we've covered the industry. We've added a lot more resources across the globe. We've been able to touch a lot more customers, in addition to the fact that our customers require more content faster, and the fact that there's been M&A activity and the pandemic. That perfect storm has caused customers to rethink how they innovate in this space, how they can leverage cloud to be an enabler for them to do things that they hadn't considered before.
Even though we're on the other side of the pandemic, what has happened is it's really changed people's feelings about working remote. It's accelerated the acceptance of moving to the cloud. It allows people to work in many different locations, potentially even from home, right? So that gives you flexibility in terms of your workforce, potentially a happier workforce. One of the things a lot of our customers are asking us for is the ability to manage not only their cloud infrastructure, but their on-premises infrastructure. Because for larger companies, that move to the cloud won't be done in one fell swoop. It will be done over time. And so Arch, our dashboard, is able to build and manage cloud facilities, but also give you insight and visibility into your on-premises workstation and resources through a single pane of glass.
Riverside.fm is a relatively new solution in the market because the need is relatively new. When COVID started, people stayed home and could only be interviewed from wherever they were, home. And a lot of the WebRTC tools that we know and love from conferencing were used to record those conversations. So if you were having a TV interview, a radio show, and the guest couldn't come to the studio, you're going to be using the WebRTC tools to record them. Riverside is better than those because it is dedicated to online recording.
Some of the pain points that our customers are experiencing when compared to 2019, I think if we think back in 2019, many of them were still firmly in the view that on-premise and doing things the way that they'd always done things was fine and was going to be that way for the foreseeable future. What we've seen now through COVID, many of their pain points is they're still trying to deal with remote working. They're still trying to figure out how they can get the best of on-premise and the cloud. So to me, managing large infrastructures in this hybrid fashion is a huge pain point. And I think that monetization continues to be a pain point where they're having to use one solution for linear, one solution for VOD, one solution for streaming, and they're trying to consolidate all of that and create an audience-first way of ultimately selling advertising to their audience.
The key thing about working with AWS and partners like AWS is it allows for real flexibility in terms of spinning up, spin down models, which really helps to create an efficient way of either doing a burst event where there's 500 or 1,000 editors, or right down to zero. So AWS is really helping us with that.
What it means innovation for us is being able to provide the best technology and meet our customer demand as soon as possible, as fast as possible. And it's really about allowing them to distribute their content worldwide and to monetize it the best way possible. Today, broadcasters, operators, content owners worldwide, they come to us because they want a streaming and a broadcast solution that can be deployed really fast. That can only happen with cloud technologies.
This innovation theme is fantastic. And if I think about the innovation theme from a customer perspective, especially when you think about what SDVI is trying to help our customers do, we're really helping them innovate their supply chain. You might say, well, the supply chain is a supply chain. I got to get the same work done. But if I can help them move that work to the cloud, automate and accelerate all of that, I can enable them to innovate on what they're doing, what tools they're using at each moment, give them intelligence about what it costs at a per unit level, so they're able to make better decisions, which is, again, a part of the whole innovation of the supply chain.
Partners are very important to our go-to-market. because there's certain aspects of what they deliver in the workflows of our customers that are specific. And it's not areas that AWS would play in. Our technology can enable some of those areas, but it's not a business that we would necessarily play in. And so partners become a critical component of what our customers want to deliver, whether it's in the broadcast workflow, direct-to-consumer workflow, or the supply chain, which has a tremendous amount of our partners in it. It's not an area that we would undertake naturally, but it's an area that collaboratively we can solve more problems with customers together. So partners are a really important part of our go-to-market.
The innovations that we're bringing to IBC this weekend, I would say our M2A Connect product. So this is all about managing, as a broadcaster, the aggregation and acquisition of transport streams, either from disparate sports rights owners or sports content distributors, such as the BT Towers of this world, being able to bring all those feeds in and then enable other AWS partners in cloud playout, cloud production, cloud graphics, so that the customer gets the benefit of a sort of an entire pipeline or chain within AWS.
Customers are expecting a new level of collaboration between technology vendors. So it's not just a box here connected over a wire to a box here, connected over a wire to a box here. It's a software application talking through intelligent APIs to another software application, talking through APIs to underlying cloud-based infrastructure, and it all has to work together. The word ecosystem gets used a lot, maybe too much, but if you really have an ecosystem, it's not one unless they're all connected in ways where they can communicate to each other efficiently.
I think that the light came on for me personally on this trip at the IBC 2022. Seeing on the floor all the solutions pulled together, and they're integrated, they're working together on AWS platform to allow delivery of content creation, post-production workflow from the cloud to out in real time. And that's the future, I think, where things are going. And we're very excited about it. And been talking with many customers, they've been thinking about this type of workflow for some time. I think here today, they're seeing it in real time on the floor. That's very, very exciting to see.
The cloud is everything. The cloud is where we upload this content and then manage and stream the content. Riverside is entirely built on AWS, and it's been a very robust and agile cloud for us. And frankly, we see that most of our clients are asking for that, the S3 bucket integration. So we're really happy. Riverside.fm is really happy to have this partnership with AWS and be built on AWS. And I can tell you that the value we derive from that every day is huge. And our solution could not exist if we did not have this connection to such a reliable cloud.
So what we've done with AWS and all AWS partners is we demonstrated real-time workflows where they can go in the cloud and have the collaboration workflows and efficiencies of working as a team and have this quality, reliability, low latency work performed in a real-world environment.
As a customer, a former customer myself, I knew that there were multiple components in every technology solution that we built. And if all of those components aren't available in the cloud, I can't move that workflow. What we're showing at IBC this year is true end-to-end workflow with partners integrated across our 5 Industry Innovation Center programs, starting with content production, where we're shooting video live here on the floor, bringing it in to the cloud, editing, doing graphics, and then handing off to our media supply chain solutions, through to our broadcast and live production solutions, and then finally out to direct-to-consumer.
So there's so much excitement right now around competitive sports, and AWS has been very honored to be able to partner with the likes of the National Football League, Formula One, as well as Bundesliga in Germany as 3 recent examples. And the work we're doing there is really on focusing on enhancing the fan experience. And you can do that by really leveraging data and analytics in a unique way. AWS is able to ingest billions of different customer interactions every day, leveraging our solutions like Elastic Map Registry or EC2. And these have a real compounding effects for those leagues because they're able to create really interesting statistics and really gamify the experience for their fan base. And we're seeing that now extend into the areas of virtual gaming. So AWS is very proud of a sponsorship we have now with Riot Esports, and we're doing the same thing. We're focused on helping them leverage content production as well as broadcast distribution for esports and creating a much more comprehensive fan experience. And we're doing that through the use of data and analytics. And that's an area that I think is very exciting, because we can really impact the user in a way that we haven't been able to do before.
Customers are challenging us. One of the examples I can talk about, because it comes up a lot, is with our broadcast customers, cost, of course. So there are historically, there have been a lot of fixed cost models involved. So what they've done with us is they're asking us, okay, we're used to knowing how much things cost. We're now moving to this consumption-based model, and we're not sure how we feel about that. So they're asking us to help partner with them and then partner with our teams internally to look at how we can ensure that we're giving them what they need. We're giving them that visibility, not from a fixed cost model perspective, but just understanding what their pain points are so that we can then help address them.
So we've driven a number of innovations this year, focused on a number of different areas. I'll give you two examples. One, in content production, we identified several gaps in the workflow, and we achieved a huge breakthrough with Color in the Cloud, which has been nominated for an HPA Engineering Award. We worked with partners like DaVinci Resolve Studio for Blackmagic and Baselight Filmlight to close out this last remaining gap in the post-production workflow. We've also been innovating in live remote production. We've done a number of POCs with customers, and we're excited about the possibilities with partners like Grass Valley and VizRT.
We're now to the point where we've demonstrated that you can effectively run an individual job or use case or workload in the cloud. And now we're moving to the end-to-end, or building these chained together supply chains. And so that partner innovation that we bring to the table enables us to provide both capabilities to build end-to-end workflows, but also customer choice. And at the end of the day, we're still working backwards for our customers, and they're telling us, we want you guys to be able to integrate these different components to build our specific supply chain and address our specific needs.
This year at IBC, we're showcasing an end-to-end studio in the cloud, and we're actually making a movie. We have a little set over there with a robot dog, and we're filming it, and then we're going through the entire post-production lifecycle. It's really exciting because nobody's ever done this before. Nobody's ever actually created an entire studio in the cloud with all of these different facets of post-production. So we're shooting, we're ingesting to the cloud, then we're editing, we're doing pre-visualization and creating backplates that we can then composite in. Then we're doing color and finishing, we're doing master QC, and the entire thing is in one studio in the cloud managed by Arch Platform.
I'm excited about the Movie Labs 2030 project. They're going to announce that we have 5 of the top 10 criteria for doing movies in the cloud. That's fantastic, and that's really great validation for us in the business. Sustainability has become a much bigger criteria for our customers. In fact, a lot of the RFPs that we see these days, we don't see a ton of RFPs, but every RFP we see, sustainability is something that's being asked of how we address sustainability. Sustainability is very important to us. Amazon has committed to the climate pledge, and we're going to be 100% carbon neutral by 2040, 10 years ahead of Paris. That, in our customer space, is also about efficiency. How do you do things 30 to 40% less cost and also be able to give back from a sustainability standpoint? We're seeing a tremendous uptick in that, and we're happy to be able to address those concerns.
Obviously, sustainability, from an Imagine standpoint, is extremely important, and from our customers, I think it's extremely important. I think everybody realizes that there is a climate crisis, and we all need to contribute to the solution. The way that we do that is first and foremost is we build software, particularly if it's running on-premise, to be as efficient as possible. We obviously comply with all of the regulations, and from an office standpoint and from an employee standpoint, we're rolling out programs that are more sustainable.
Sustainability is incredibly important. It's very close to our heart. The way that Blackbird is architected allows for our solution to be up to 91% more sustainable, lower carbon emissions than the competitive workflows. It's important for our customers because everyone is now having to meet targets. So whether it's because they want to or whether because they need to, they're going to have to meet targets, and that's a great thing for the industry. So awareness is very high. It's now ready for the industry to kind of really show that it's meaning and actually get these emissions down. So Lifeboat is very proud to be a key part of that.
Thank you for joining the inaugural episode of The House of Me. I hope that you have found this recap of the IBC 2022 useful. And stay tuned to this channel for future episodes of The House of Me. Thanks for watching.